Hey guys, Outdoor Prepper, welcome back to the channel. If you saw my last oil change video on the Predator 5000, it looked more like a super fun cleanup site than an oil change. It was an absolute disaster. Since then, I have refined the oil change to go from about 30 minutes with an absolute mess to almost 2 minutes and not even a single drop of oil spilled. So you're going to want to stay tuned and watch this because I have learned a lot and I have made the oil change so easy that literally anybody can do it. So let's get this turned on, fired up. We're going to warm it up for about 5 minutes to get that oil nice and hot. Then we're going to pull the camera in and change the oil. Now, this has not been started in some time, so let's see. It's probably going to take 2 times to start it to purge the propane, but we'll find out. And I do recommend you start this at least once a month. That way you can charge the battery. All right, fired right up. We're going to let this run for a couple of minutes, then we're going to pull the camera in and I'm going to show you how simple it is. All right, now while this is running to just heat up the oil, we're going to take you inside the Outdoor Prepper garage, and it's really messy in here. But I want to show you, this is the giant GIDROX 10,000 watt tri-fuel generator. And guys, this is a beast. I am going to link this in the video description below because, as you know, I love my Predator 5000. Absolutely love that thing. I think it is the best thing since sliced bread. But with that being said, this GIDROX unit, I picked this up because I live in New York and we've had some really, really hot days as of late. And I'm talking about, 100 degrees plus. We've got like 90% humidity. It's absolutely stifling here. And while my Predator unit can power all the essentials of the house, and I love it for that, and it's very fuel efficient, I wanted something that I could use to really run the AC in the house. I want to keep all those mini splits running. I want to keep the window ACs running on the higher floors that don't have the mini splits. I want to be able to power basically everything. And I don't want to spend 20 grand for a whole house unit. So I picked this up, as my review video will show you, it was actually on sale for a little less than $2,500. And this is a tri-fuel unit. So I can run this on natural gas pretty much indefinitely and power my whole house. So the reason I'm talking about this today is because I did my 5-hour break-in and it was absolutely awesome. But I needed to change the oil, and I did not want to replicate the disaster that happened with the Predator unit. So in order to change the oil on this, I bought basically a liquid transfer pump, or a siphon almost, to suck the oil out of it. I didn't even spill a single drop. It was the easiest oil change I have ever done, and I'm more of a traditionalist in the sense that I always loosen the oil drain bolt, let it drain into a catch pan. Absolute nightmare with the Predator. It was a piece of cake with this. So I think we're going to let this run for another 2 minutes, and then I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to change this oil. It's going to be so fast that literally you have no excuse to not change the oil often. And do check out this video because this really is a solid, great unit, and I am so happy I picked this up. I'll post a link to where I got this on Amazon, and I'll post a link to the review video. Do me a favor, right before we come to the oil change, if you find this video helpful, if you could like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. I'm trying to build my subscriber count. So any liking or subscribing would be very appreciated. All right, let's get the generator opened up. Okay, now that the generator has been running for a couple of minutes, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the cover off the side here. And this is the side where the oil fill is and the drain. And you can always determine which side is which without taking the cover off, just by simply looking at the bottom of the unit. And what you're looking for is right down here. That's the little piece that slides out. And it makes you like a little ramp for the oil to drain from. As you can kind of see, let me just pull the camera in a little bit. So what you would do is you would loosen the oil fill, the oil drain here, that's the fill, and then you would pull this little piece out and it has a little ramp for the oil to flow down. Now, in practice, that sounds really amazing. In principle, that sounds amazing. In practice, it turned my yard into a super fun cleanup site. It was an epic disaster, so I don't recommend doing it that way. What I recommend doing is opening the fill, and then you're going to use, I bought this on Amazon, I'll post a link to it. This is a 200cc extraction and fill pump. And so basically I used this the other day on my GIDROX generator, which I absolutely love. And this was super easy to do the oil change. It was quite painless. And the GIDROX actually has a better oil drain design. But irrespective, I don't even want to risk anything anymore after this whole fiasco. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a piece of paper towel, because inevitably you will spill a drop or two. It's just going to happen. And I'm just going to put it in here, as I really try to prevent as many spills as I can. I'm going to put another piece on the ground, and I'm just going to take the fill plug, which is also the dipstick. And this oil, I don't know if you can really see on camera, it actually looks okay on camera, but this oil has about almost 30 hours on it. So I do want to change it, because again, this generator is fairly new and does not have a lot of hours in general. So I want to do the oil change as frequently as possible. And then right here I have a bottle, and this has the old oil from the GIDROX. This oil has only 5 hours on it, so you can see why it's really important to do that break-in oil change. And I'm actually going to spend more time here just getting everything set up and explaining to you how to do this than the actual extraction of the oil itself. So this is pretty simple. You take the fluid extractor pump out here, you take this piece, it just slides right in, locks in. To take this out, you would just push this gray collar up, and then you would pull this out. And then you're going to take this little piece right here, take off the protective cap, just hook that in, take off the protective cap at the end here, and you're good to go. Now you've got the pump with the 2 adapters on it, and what we're going to do, I'm just opening the bottle so I can drain the oil into it. Let me see if I can pull the camera back just a little bit. All right, hopefully you guys can see that okay. So I'm just going to insert this into the oil fill, and it's going to take a couple of times. It's not going to be, one and done. And I'm just going to start pulling back on it, and as you can hopefully see, this is literally just sucking all the old oil right out. I'm not even having to worry about that drain plug, and the whole thing is filled with oil. So you will get a little spillage as you're pulling this hose out, although I'm trying to be as careful as I can. And then I'm going to put it into this old washer fluid bottle, which is slightly off camera. What I'm doing is I'm just squirting it back into the washer fluid bottle. Let me just pick the camera up again just so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. So I'm taking the fluid extractor pump, and I've put the hose into the washer fluid bottle, and I'm just pushing the plunger all the way down to get the oil out of there and into the washer fluid bottle. All right, so that was one try. And now I've got this back in here. And look at that, it's pulling up a ton of oil. And it's just so simple. Like I said, I really had just a disaster the first time that I did this, that I don't ever want to have to do that again. I mean, subsequently since then I've tried other methods, all of which have been slightly less disastrous, but still a lot of spillage. Because the design from Harbor Freight, just inherently, that is a poor design. All right, let's try this a third time. And it's a little more difficult because I am doing this on camera, so I've got the tripod in the way. So as I pull this out, I'm trying to lower the hose because I don't want any of that old oil that I was successful in extracting. I don't want any of it to go back in. But, inevitably, probably a little bit will. All right, let's just do this a couple more times. So I think I've gotten 99% of this oil out of here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and get my new bottle of oil. I'm going to measure out what I think is the correct amount, and we're going to start filling it up. Okay, so I've cleaned everything up here. I put the fluid transfer pump away, I put the old oil away, I've got the funnel out, we're good to go. So this takes about 20 ounces of oil. I actually think you're better off doing about 18 ounces and checking it. That way you don't risk overfilling it. Although if you do overfill it, you can again take that pump and just siphon just a little bit out. So I did the calculations. If it takes, let's say 18 ounces of oil, if you buy a new bottle of 10W30, this bottle is 946 milliliters. If you do all the math and you take 18 ounces, convert it to milliliters, subtract it from 946, basically you're left with 413 milliliters. So when I pour in the correct amount of oil, I should have a little over 400 milliliters left in this bottle, so about 413 remaining. And that's how I'm going to measure this to make sure that I don't overfill it. So again, I'm going to pour in this bottle until I get to about 400, a little over 400, 413 milliliters remaining, and then I know I'm at full. Okay, so I've got the cap off the oil, and I really hate filling some of these generators in general because they all take very odd amounts. It would just be so wonderful if a company could come out and produce a generator that takes exactly 1 quart of oil, because then we don't have to do any measuring, any calculating. We just drain the whole thing, pour a whole quart in, check it, and walk away. All right, so let's just keep pouring this. Like I said, I may not have extracted every last drop, so I'm probably going to stop and check it when it's around 450 milliliters instead of 413, which is where I need to be. All right, we're coming up on 580 milliliters left in the bottle. We're now at 500, so we've got to be really careful here not to overfill it. All right, we're below, we're at about 470. We're at about 400. I'm trying to hold this level. We're about 440. We're pretty close to what I think is probably going to be full. All right, I got a clean piece of paper towel. The dipstick is all wiped off, and you should always check this. Let's just see if we can get a focus on this. You should always check this without putting the dipstick all the way in. You should actually put the dipstick in, but you don't want to screw it in. So let's take a look. Oh yeah, we are right on the mark. We're just a smidge above 50%. Let me see if we can get a focus on this. All right, the camera doesn't want to cooperate, but you can probably see the difference in color on the dipstick. That is absolutely perfect. I do not want to risk having another massacre here, so I think we are good to go. Because I hope this showed you just how simple an oil change on really any generator, but in this case the Predator, can be. Because last time I did this oil change, on camera at least, it was a total disaster. Super easy. That's your drain right there. Just leave the drain on. Don't take it off. Take off the fill, suck all the oil out, refill it. Again, you want your bottle of oil, just kind of as a reference, to be a little over 400 milliliters. You want to have about 413 milliliters left in this bottle, and that's how you know what the right amount is. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.